Yeah. I want to find my way to you. You, my love. There's so many people who say that they won't when they will. I could use some motivation, but I know how I feel. Faster than you like, it's over and that's the end. Faster than you like, it's over and that's the end. It's over and that's the end. Oh, I want to find my way to you. Yeah, baby. Oh, I want to find my way to you. Gotta find my way, baby. I don't need a reason to say what I want when it's real. If I see you acting patient, you never know your last meal. Faster than you like, it's over and that's the end. Faster than you like, it's over and that's the end. It's over and that's the end. Passing through, catching that feeling of wonder. Can't stop till I feel that way again. Oh, no. Find my way to you. Gotta find my way. Find my way to you. Gotta find. Find my way to you. Find my to golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire.
And hello, welcome back to the European Pro League, ladies and gentlemen. It is season 39, and we are having some Group B upon us. Ilbirs Esports versus Habibis. Ilbirs Esports pretty much with the same team composition as they were playing last season. Of course, having that little bit of a switcheroo between as the core and Vanilla in terms of the past 5 position. But Habibis are a fresh name here within the season, and with a bunch of new names that we haven't necessarily seen before. So we have Freaky, Shushu, Russell. Well, I don't know if it's I Love to Buy Back, but I'm gonna go with Mog. It's a lot easier to call it out. And Otto. So it's a new team with some notable names here, which primarily are playing currently as a part of the ENC qualifiers. The regional qualifiers are upon us, which does explain why 2 of our casters are currently AFK. So they're coaching their own respectful countries. So a lot of good luck, and I wish them all the best to Dodi and to Teltras, so with the respectful Team Hungary and Team Pakistan. But in terms of these drafts, let's see what's going on. So, the opener is going to be Clockwork on the end of Habibis, and Ilbirs are going to use this chance to take away the Drow Rangers. Of course, if she's not banned out, she's way too OP to ignore. And they will add up Underlord, Largo, and Rubik in the mix. And I do like this composition that they're opting in for, because Largo as a position 3, it feels like he's a little bit on a way slow of a timer in terms of the still ongoing tempo-based meta. You want to get the benefits out of this hero, but not necessarily throwing all of your trust in him. So Underlord is a great pick for that position, so you can keep the ball rolling, you can have the frontline aggression. It does synergize really nicely between the Pit of Malice out and the Frog Stub. So you're going to have a lot of EOE, a lot of ground control, a lot of pushback control. As with the Telekinesis and the Gush, you can control a lot of heroes across the team fight. So I love the idea that they're going in for, but I want to see something a little bit extra, like, I don't know, just to amplify things, just to make them a little bit faster. Even though Habibis, they still have the chance to opt in for, per se, a Shadow Fiend if they want to go for it, as they already have the Darkseer present. So one lane can already be kept pushed in and kept in control. I would like to see yet another lane pretty much going down the suffering end for, well, I don't want to be like, I don't want to say Ilbirs, you know, I want to see them suffer, but I want to see Habibis show us an interesting and a fun game here, as they haven't played. Actually, they have played, my bad. It was yesterday versus Summer Bear, and they won with a result of 2-1, so okay, already they had their introduction, so they can win. And measuring against Summer Bear, I mean, it's a mid-tier sort of a team here at the EPL, so you know, it could be either or. They have good days, they have bad days. They're not super consistent, but sometimes when they're played, they're absolutely insane. Whereas the Habibis draft, so I did speak about the Darkseer. I do like the push, I do like the aggression, even though Darkseer is not your go-to offlaner nowadays, but I do like the collective AoE damage that they have here alongside with the Earth Spirit and with the Magnetize. And you can easily use the Clockwork for these long-range calls, for these long-range hook shots. So, and of course, with the bubble, he's gonna melt through targets easily, but these targets are not as easy as one might think, because you do have a lot of frontline aggression coming in with the Underlord, you do have a lot of healing coming in from the Largo, even though early levels, they might be suffering, but later on it should improve.
Radiant team ban.
Wind Ranger is going to be picked up as 4th. So, with that, Habibis, well, I want to say they have their offlane and, I guess, carry position already covered.
10 seconds
Or maybe they're still opting in for a final support, because this Darkseer, and with their Spirit already present, even it could be a Wind Ranger going in as a support here, most likely. Dark Ranger going in off, Earth Spirit going in as the mid laner, that seems like the most plausible situation here. And looking at the bans, it seems like it's likely to go as such. Konka banned out, Lina taken out, Doom was taken out earlier, Ember Spirit is out, Puck is out from mid laners. We also have Invoker out.
5 seconds remaining. pick.
So last but not least, it's gonna be Queen of Pain for Habibis. Just for that extra reach, just for that extra additional damage. Still absolutely insane when she picks up the scepter, so I really want to see that happen. But for Ilbirs, final say is, it is gonna be the Pango.
Select your heroes.
I'm never necessarily a fan when you have these, I want to have everything in front of my plate sort of heroes and the Pango in the mix because he can easily just push things out. But I do believe that with Ilbirs, you can at the very least scare off Habibis with that spell being used up. You can push them away and, you know, it can inflict a lot more mind games in this scenario rather than going in for those big hyper proactive plays because Ilbirs, they do have these single target pickoffs that they can actively keep going. And of course, Pango, he does pack in a lot of early damage and he's really, really annoying to deal with. So he's going to be granted to Niche as expected. Shushu is going to take the Queen of Pain. Freaky is going to be Wind Ranger, so as expected, she's going to be a POS 1. Okay, so they did do a switch where Mog is going to go with POS 4 on the Air Spirit. Interesting choice. I mean, well, it could be the better option here. I mean, you are getting the best out of the Air Spirit without necessarily throwing him actively into the front line. Of course, I do like this hero very much, even though, like, there's a very big difference between knowing how to play this hero and actually being good at playing this hero. He's a lot more difficult than a lot of people think. Regardless, in terms of my prediction, well, I haven't really seen these two teams compete, so I don't really have much in terms of their skill level. Ilbirs have a little bit more of a veteran status here at the EPL, so definitely with a better and a more consistent team composition, you are more likely to have a better result. But I do like the Habibis draft for a couple of reasons. You do have a lot of frontlining aggression, you do have a very good catch, you do have a lot of explosive firepower with two very, well, with addition to the Spirit, you do have very strong and impactful ultimates. It is going to take some time for Ilbirs to get into a fighting shape, but if they get past the 35-40 minute mark, it's going to be absolutely disgusting about what the Drow Ranger can do. You're going to have Monodrama on the double, possibly we're going to see the Scepter, or, well, in this case, he's going in as a support, so we might as well see a little bit more of a focus onto utility items rather than aggressive. But we do have Nefrit in the mix as the Underlord, so
30 seconds to battle.
ultimately, he can just throw heroes from across the map, going for the long-range executions. And of course, it's his Scepter that I'm a little bit, you know, happier for seeing. Darkseer is by far the most interesting pick here. It used to be super dominant last summer. Now it's a little bit far off of the meta description. I mean, and it's insanely situational. Auto. Nice cock save for the bounty. But he's still within range. Imp, though, he hasn't scaled up anything. So we're not gonna have a telekinesis throwback. Down bottom. Mog. Ooh, went in for a little bit of a deep dive here. Manum and Monodrama. We'll see him. Monodrama with a little bit of a cake throw there. Is it a cake or is it a pie? I haven't really paid attention. Even though I have been playing a little bit more proactively due to the event, so I'm getting reintroduced to some cosmetics that I have missed out. So yeah, it's indeed gonna be a Darkseer alongside with the Earth Spirit setup here. And again, I do like the aggression, I do like the laning pressure that you can provide upon this Drow Ranger. But let's see if it's gonna be good enough, because one small misstep in the catchy lick might help things out. Look at the level 1 damage just coming in from the Frost Arrows. It is scary stuff. Top side. Aggression is coming in here from Ilbirs, as they were looking for first blood upon Auto. But I guess it's not gonna be granted just like that. Mid lane. Niche on the Pango versus Shushu on to Queen of Pain. Should be a good lane for the Queen of Pain. You know, she always has that upper hand when it comes down to melee heroes. But Niche is not your everyday melee hero, because he can very swiftly jump in and oh, first blood. Actually, Imp is gonna fall. Completely missed that one. But yeah, going about the Pango subject, he can be very mobile, he can be really jumpy, and as experience keeps on going, he's dealing a lot of damage. So by the time Shushu gets the Sonic Wave, there's already gonna be 2 spells dealing immense amounts. So Niche, he can either turn it into full-blown aggression or he's gonna play it defensively. Thankfully, he got the bottle on time, so he will survive that little bit of an aggression that he delivered. Monem and Monodrama, so far pretty chill, but it seems like their clockwork is in danger as Otto, the target for aggression from earlier, will finally pay the price. As of course, well, I thought it was level 3 on the Rubik, but even so, 1 telekinesis, 1 Fate Bolt is already enough for the reductions for the control. And of course, you always want to get that double tick off the Pit of Malice, just to make sure he's not moving anywhere. And Otto, he's not gonna move fast until he gets level 6. Things are definitely a lot easier for Freaky, but with so much action happening and with, well, the lack of early damage, it is making it a little bit difficult for him to farm. Currently at the top of things, in terms of CS, we are seeing Nefret, Manam, and Niche. Habibis, they are a little bit slow in terms of their early laning, but they did obtain first blood and a kill, so things are somewhat equal. Russell, ooh, a little bit of damage onto the Darkseer, but thankfully he's got the surge, and he shall surge away. Mog going in for the deep dive to snatch away as much as he can from the creep wave. Darkseer is not getting as much farm as he would like to. And topside, Freaky in danger. He gets caught up. One more strike. Imp. Oh, the Fairy Fire for the save. So close yet so far. The Feed Bolt is gonna get off cooldown. And Imp is still looking for the chase. Otto taking him back. Can they get the kill? He keeps on hitting. This Rubik is committed. And he's not gonna fall yet. Both of the heroes on this lane for Habibis are looking very low. Second Pit of Malice catch. Otto, telekinesis, throw him back. Rooted once again. The shackles are not gonna save him. They take yet another one. Freaky will heal up for just a little bit. Meanwhile, Mog, they're gonna find Monodrama, who went in for a little bit of a deep dive there. Let's see, topside. Freaky is still struggling. He's having a tough time. Eventually his support will return, but Nefret, he's gonna get off cooldown in 2 seconds. The Pit of Malice will connect. He's got the Firestorm. Cogs pushing him forward. Oh, nice kick. He was almost within reach. But ultimately he is gonna be fine. Nefret losing the entire mana in the process. So far, 5 minutes in, the biggest victor here is indeed this Drow Ranger. Topside, the action does not subside. Imp going in aggressively. The Blood Grenade will connect. Nice wind run from Freaky. It seems like Rubik will pay the price. This time the Fairy Fire will not save anyone, and Imp dies bad by the power shot. But yep, Drow, she's still untackled, untouched, free farming, doing whatever the hell she wants. Falcon Blade is going to be already completed. Mid lane, how are we looking in terms of ultimates? Niche getting his first, leading by, well, pretty much an entire level over Shushu. What happened here? I mean, yeah, 13 denies. That explains it. That's where your experience left. Shushu is still struggling to get whatever he can. He needs that experience. He needs that damage. Monodrama is paying mid a visit. Mog is already at the double Imp. Oh, contact has been made with Otto. He keeps pressing forward. The Cogs are gonna push Rubik out up on high ground, but Niche, Monodrama, nice catchy leg. They're gonna pull back the clockwork, the damage, the frog stomp. Is it gonna be enough? Oh, one more hit, one more projectile. Come on! They're gonna get it. The creeps, they got the last hit. But it's good to see something happening around this mid, as it's been pretty quiet. A lot of rotations, but nobody falling just like that. Menem left a little bit to his own devices, but he's fine, and closing in on his own level 6, so the marksmanship being an absolutely spell to have. And the fact that it's passive, like, you're not gaining and you're not needing to bother about somebody. You're just like, okay, I got right click and I'm just making it 10 times better for myself. Top side, Habibis. They're looking to at least keep one lane in control.
Is under attack.
And it's the lane where they have their carry. But they're hesitant. Even though they brought in Queen of Pain in the mix. They were ready, but I guess the creep wave was a little bit too far pushed in. So definitely fighting under tower is not a good idea.
Dire are scanning.
Now rotations coming in bottom. Well, if we're not getting anything topside, maybe we can punish the drow. But again, there's this hesitation where not 100% sure if we want to do this. But they do have the vision, they do have the control. But they don't know anything more than that, unfortunately. So they're just utilizing what they can during this little bit of downtime, maybe in the hopes of compensating in terms of farm. But it's looking tough. They need kills more than farm. The only hero that is farm competent here is the Darkseer. And, well, it's been tough. Let's just say. He still does not have level 6. He's still lacking on any bigger item. And he might be under siege soon enough. Monodrama. He's looking to keep Habibis in the lane, but now they will commit. Manam jumped upon. There's the wall. Oh, they have her locked down completely. Catchy leg, throwing her back. Oh, Manam is safe and sound. The Rolling Thunder coming in from niche. Silent stuff. Russell, he's caught up into the pit, and he shall die within it. Otto, trying to close in from the backlines to scare off Manam. Not happening. It's gonna be 2 for the price of null. And a beautiful team commitment coming in from Ilbirs. But still, they're not done. Mog using a beautiful opportunity as Drow was low and Shushu's coming in from the other side. The scream will not connect. Beautiful telekinesis taking him back. Shushu, he's aiming for the right angle for the Sonic Wave. But Imp will not grant him the pleasure. A big kill, but at the same time a big sacrifice for Habibis. Shushu. Can he get the Rubik? Imp is dropping low. Come on, pop it! This is gonna be the power shot from the other side. Mog coming in as well. Monodrama. He shall perish. The entirety of Habibis have committed for this one, and let's get a tower while we're here. We have the focus fire, we have everything, so that explains why Shushu did not use his big ultimate. They were counting on numbers. And it was a good bet. Let's see what happens. Mid niche, now caught up, stunned down, silence, magnetized. There's the Sonic Wave. It's gonna be committed for a lot bigger of a target. So what Habibis were losing in terms of farm, now they are compensating with it in terms of kills. But the question, as always, it remains: is it going to be enough? A lot of aggression has been present around mid lane. But the tower gold is not going to be granted to Ilbirs, as Shushu did deny it. But so far 1 for 1 in terms of towers 10 minutes in. Manam was a little bit unfortunate there. But the fact that, of course, it's an unwritten rule. If one lane is victorious by a lot, you're instantly gonna triple down to try to punish it. Otto. No, Manam gets caught up once again. Oh, this is a little bit awkward. As yeah, obviously the entire team is up top, so really I didn't tell. This Drow is all by herself. Otto, Monodrama, they are finding him. Nice chase. Cogs keeping him on the spot, but so will the Pit of Malice. Blood grenades, they're throwing everything at him just to keep him within the difficult terrain, but he's not gonna fall off as easily. Niche. Oof. Nice damage with the swashbuckle and the feed bolt. Otto shall eventually pay the price, but all of this, well, camping, let's just call it, around tier 1,
Radiant's middle tower.
unless they get this tower, is gonna be a waste of time, because they gotta detach from this objective and go back to the drum, as Manam is having difficulties.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The entire team is topside, he's all by himself at bottom.
Has fallen.
He's got absolutely nothing to defend himself with, so... just make sure you still have a carry by the end of this game. How is Freaky doing? Frankly, even though he had a tough farming lane, he did walk out of it with a 2-0-2 result, so... those early rotations did pay off, and of course with the tower takedown, and he's gonna go for the Hydra's Breath as a first item. Nice choice, you definitely need that. Not sure if it's your go-to item for a Wind Ranger nowadays. I mean, we're still seeing these combinations with, well, the Falcon's Blade is always going to be a good opener, but a Dragon Lance or a Hurricane Pike or something of that sort. But I guess since you already have one mobility spell, you're absolutely fine with risking it and doubling down with the damage. Smoke up, coming in from Habibi. They're looking to invade the Radiant jungle. Mog, leading up the siege. They're trying to take down Imp while he's distracted with the Observers, and there's the Magnetized Pop with the Sonic Wave. They're throwing everything they can at the Rubik, as they don't want to lose any of those spells. Magnetize still popping, Niche falling low. Manam, he's within range as well. But all in all, it's only gonna be the Rubik getting destroyed. It's a very nice score currently at 13 minutes in. With Ilbirs, well, slowly losing that little bit of a slither of advantage that they had. As Habibis, they're moving freely across the map. And they're gaining kills left and right, but Imp, he's gonna get a catch. Otto in the backlines, caught up in the pit, caught up within his own cogs, rooted up, falling fast. Imp, can you get him for a second time? He's still on cooldown with a telekinesis, and he's out of reach. TP out, is it happening? Is it happening? Yes, it is! Nicely done, Otto. He's been the sacrificial lamb this entire game for Habibis, and he's not looking to fall yet another time. I mean, the time has passed for him to just die down on every single occasion. He's gotta grow tankier, and he's gotta grow a little bit more stronger. And of course you do have that little addition of the Ash Legion shield, which is helping him out, so that's great to have. He's gonna go for the Force Staff as well for that little bit of a displacement. Of course, when you have, well, 2 AoE lockdown spells present, you gotta get the hell out of there as soon as possible. Bash the Force Staff, and hope for the best. Hopefully you're not just facing in the wrong direction. Bottom side. No.
Radiant are scanning.
Russell has been noticed. Pushing in a little bit too far. And they're gonna move out of bot. But still, Ilbirs are lingering, smoked up. Using Manam as bait, but so far there's nobody responding, so they might as well want to push in a little bit more towards the tower in the hope Manam is not going to go too far. But now it's nighttime, so it's not recommended for you to fight. Maybe just go in for that dominated creep, get that.
Are scanning.
Oh, 102 gold, not too shabby,
Radiant's
not
top
too
tower
bad.
is under attack.
Top side, ongoing push coming in. We have Mog leading the siege, and they are looking for a response here. But instantly back off. I mean, they still have the pick-off potential, which is a lot better compared to Ilbirs's, but they're choosing to remain idle here. They're choosing to chill. They're looking to farm. They already have opened up a decent portion of the map. But let's see. Ilbirs are now keen on fighting. Mog. Eyes on mid. Monodrama. He's got the high ground. And Shushu. Stunned up. Instant jump. Nicely done. As danger is lingering right across the corner. Nice call. Time wasted for Ilbirs. Yeah, the biggest enemy here for sure is this auto clockwork being played out. Because A is
Is under attack.
giving Niche so many problems. He's never gonna pick up the team fight unless he sees that the cogs are out, and especially in the direction which he's not going in. So either eliminate the Clockwork and keep on pushing, or you just hope for the best.
Is under attack.
Clockwork, meanwhile, he is busy on the lower portion of the map where Habibis have been actively scouting out and hunting Manam, and they're looking for it once again. Bog, beautiful kick. Oh, Manam, he's gonna walk away from the wall and miss out on the vacuum. That misstep surely saved his life, as Habibis' grand element of surprise wasted them a big ultimate and a lot of time. Meanwhile, down the river. Shushu. Ooh, Imp. Oh, you should have went back home under the fountain. Can somebody deny him? Actually, no, it's gonna be the Dispel. Nicely done by Monodrama. Yeah, it's got... I keep on forgetting this thing has the best basic Dispel on it. Nicely done. Still keeping Imp within the action, but he's still gonna take the long way back home. Just so he can fully regenerate. Down bottom, eyes on Nefrit. Finally, he's got the Scepter queued up for that double pit of Malice. But those efforts will be hindered as they're looking for him. There's the jump, but everybody's within the pit. This is a very good setup. Unfortunately, the rest of the crew are not using it. He's gonna pop the gate, but he cannot use it by himself. The cogs are keeping him in place. Niche, Monodrum, they're gonna arrive from the side as well as Venom. They have the cogs on the ground, spotted out. Auto, can they get him? 1 more second remaining. They're keeping him stun locked. He's gonna eventually pop it though, but he's way too low to stay alive. Nicely done by Ilbirs. Nefrit, that gate to call on his friends was on point. Like, apparently he was never looking to escape. But it was looking way too scary there for a moment.
Radiant are
How much did they get out of it? Well, they didn't have any streaks, but still that's a lot of money. Especially to bring him closer to the Aghanim Scepter topside. It just scans being dropped out by Habibis as Freaky was looking to go across it. But now, he's hesitant. He's not gonna do it. Him though. He sees Freaky. He sees the Wind Ranger. Meanwhile, Nefrit gets caught up by Russell, so now they gotta equate this. Silenced up, gusted out. But the Magnetize is popping. Focus fire upon Manam. Ooh, they are regretting this just a little bit. Actually, no, it was not the Magnetize, it was Monodrama playing, but now we have Mog caught up in the mix. Magnetize, though, is on cooldown. Monim pushed forward, he wants Freaky, he wants to carry that, and he's gonna get him, but he's still in a bad spot. Rolling in, Mog. Can they drop Manam down to 0? Auto, chasing, Shushun, beautiful Sonic Wave. Taking him down, 3 for the price of 1. Actually, make that 4 for the price of 1. They already took Nefrit pretty much solo in the bottom side of the map. And without the initiator, without the frontliners, looking a lot tougher. And the cog, oh, that cog like left the door open, but still Niche is having a tough time connecting. Still Auto, 1 more swashbuckle, he's gonna get it. Pit of Malice, okay, Nefrit back in business. They got the queen, they have her rooted up, Vacuum taking targets back, but they almost had him. Not enough damage for the kills. But did it equate the result here in terms of kills? Not really. It ended up being 2 for the price of 4 alongside with a streak. So far 20 minutes in, it's pretty stable. And aside from this game, which is gonna be temporarily paused up as, of course, coordinator issues, Dota issues, Valve issues, mouse issues, Discord issues, headset issues. We've seen it all. But yeah, Habibis still getting the fruits of their labor, still getting kills after single time de-initiate, so it does prove that they're scary when they're brought in all together in the mix, and I was expecting to see this. They're really impactful in unison, but one small misstep, one small miss, and it does allow Ilbirs just to jump away and reinitiate every single time. We saw earlier what happened with Russell missing out on the vacuum. Manam did not connect into the wall. They didn't have the lockdown addition that they needed for the Drow Ranger, so she just walked away from danger, turned around, popped the multi-shot, and everybody was dead afterwards. Withholding ultimates is also a bad idea for Habibis. Because you gotta utilize Sonic Wave every single freaking time. The cooldown is pretty low, the damage is absolutely insane. And to make matters worse, Shushu is going for the Scepter off his own, so the Shadow Strike AoE is gonna be brought into the mix, and it's always tough to have that. But thankfully, Ilbirs, they do have a lot of good frontlining, which is just getting better minute by minute. Underlord Scepter is nearing completion. He's got the rod, so he could be... Well, I wouldn't rush to the Gleipnir completion right now, maybe going for a BKB for some... at least an extra layer of safety away from the lockdowns. Pango as well, absolutely great. His Scepter is almost looking to be completed, so additional 90-degree swashbuckle damage is gonna be painful as well. But then it's gonna be the shard, then it's gonna be the blink. So the bucket list is, well, the shopping list is still pretty long. For Niche, even though Monodrama is, well, for Monodrama, even though he's playing the Largo, he's still doing a very good job at sustaining the team. But his items, of course, are not going to be as impressive as he's still working out on his Holy Locket. So extra healing, bring it into the mix. I would like to see him get something like, I don't know, Guardian Greaves or something. And it's interesting why he opted in for the Holy Locket choice instead of the Distillers that a lot of people are currently using. I mean, you can set it up prematurely. So maybe, you know, that's what works out in your favor, but this is instant cast, so... And it's percentage based, so maybe that's a little bit better. What is it, the PC? Is it the door? Wait, what is it? Guys! Guys, come on. It's like they're just adding up to my joke earlier. PC, door, internet. Okay, World Cup, yes, we do have the World Cup right now. We are watching football. Well, unfortunately, I stopped watching football almost a decade ago, so now I'm just a little bit desensitized from what's happening. I just wait for the result and be like, oh yeah, it's still going. I might just end up watching the finals, if the teams are interesting. But maybe we can talk World Cup some other time. And realize that I'm far less knowledgeable about football than Dota. Not gonna lie, last time I watched football was when Zidane was still playing. And, well, that was the last time he played because I saw the headbutt towards his retirement. Saddest retirement farewell ever. Okay, now we're back into the game so we can continue talking about Dota. Habibis with their bottom side of the map invasion. It's gonna be a safe passage towards getting the Tormentor, but damage is a little bit lacking. It's taking them quite a while here. And obviously Ilbirs are aware of this, knowing that that's happening. Okay, we're gonna go towards an objective of our own, and it's gonna be Rosh, and look at our damage. Look at what we're packing. It's looking good, they're looking strong, they have absolutely zero interventions for their Rosh siege. And now Habibis know. The same time it took them to take down a Tormentor, it took the same amount of time for Ilbirs to take down Rosh. The trait, well, one is more of a long-term investment, the other one is you're about to see 5 minutes of incoming hell. And to make matters worse, they're indeed gonna give it on to Niche. So if the Pango setup does not work on the first time, it's gonna work on the second. Still lingering down bottom. Oh, Mog. He's gonna get scouted out, but ultimately he's gonna be fine. It's still quite an interesting choice that Habibis opted in for an Earth Spirit going in as a support. It's not the spirit that we see every day. Well, Otto. Again, his cogs will be his own demise. Time after time again. And there's Mog with the jump, with the kick, taking Nefrit back. They are looking to provoke a response here, but they shall regret their intrusion instead. As Mog was looking for an easy target for an easy setup after the Nefert gate use. But not happening. He saw Niche. And it might be easy to take down the Pango twice, but the Pango once, but the Pango twice with an amplified damage rune, that's a little bit tougher. So let's refocus our efforts topside, smoke up, let's see what's happening here. Well, and we have Venom, now that's an easier target. Instant focus fire, caught up, locked into the trees. The damage seems to be sufficient even though it's coming out slow. Gust for the push, but the rest of the team are not there. And they're not looking to save this poor Drow. Him within reach, power shot. He's gonna jump away. Beautiful blink steal there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
A little bit of a lack of attention for a lingering problem here. I mean, Drow is falling every single time she is within sight. And it's not the big superstar that we've learned to see. Otto, trying to get away from the Frog Stomp. Niche, charging up. Nope. It's gonna be bait. It's just gonna be the roll-up temporarily. Swashbuckle for the kill. Otto is once again destroyed. And this is just propelling his half towards Blink Dagger insanely fast. Drow, well, she's still not lacking on items, which is good, so every single time she's able to compensate during her 4 deaths of downtime. But she's still gonna need a lot more. She's gonna need a Scepter, she's gonna need a BKB, and this is a very Scepter-dependent game on both ends. The one Scepter that I was keen on seeing, that being Monodramas, is the one that I'm not gonna see.
Worthy tribute.
A minute and a half left remaining onto the Aegis timer.
Is under attack.
And finally, Ilbirs are looking to push in. They are looking to evade a little bit more of Habibis' territory.
Dire's top tower is
I
under
mean,
attack.
interestingly enough, Habibis were the first one to pick up with the tower sieges, but they're... well, with this exchange, they're about to be losing one tower, but oof, thankfully, backdoor protection temporarily for the rescue.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Meanwhile, down bottom. Oh, Imp in danger. Hookshot. Oh, it's gonna miss, but Otto. Nice 4-step forward. Telekinesis is gonna take him back. Imp, blink. Oh, this is so dangerous. He's playing, he's taking everything he can. He's stalling. And it's gonna be beautiful as Otto is gonna be set up to die. That was an impressive play from Imp. He had the blink. He jumped back. Freaking vicariously took away the cogs, reset the entire team fight, and got one for the team. Bringing Habibis once again in a difficult situation. They will miss out on the Invis rune. But will Habibis do something more with the smoke? Down bottom, Freaky. That's a little bit of a adventurous positioning. Meanwhile, in the backlines, there's a gate. Ooh, beautiful setup. 3-4 heroes. Niche keeps on rolling. He's gonna get Mog first before he can pop the Magnetized Sonic Wave. He wants Manam. He's not gonna get him. Manam gets the hell out of there. Shushu still chasing forward in the back. Pit of Malice. Otto with the cogs keeping an effort on the edge, but he's gonna get pushed back from the cogs, stolen by Imp. So far leading for a 2-for-1 exchange. But Shushu, he wants more. Russell backing back. Bit of Malice locking onto 3, but Freaky pops the BKB, gets the focus fire lock on onto Nefrit. He's gonna take down the big carry. Well, the big offlaner, Niche. Still under siege. He does not have the Aegis anymore, but Manam, now he's back from the fountain. Keeps on hitting. He wants Shushu dead, but it's looking tough as both of his friends are looking super low. Eventually missing out on the opportunity for the takedown. Monodrama gets caught up by the edge of that power shot. So all in all, it is Habibis getting the better out of this, well, 1 minute long team fight.
Dire are scanning.
And it's still going, as they still want Niche dead and gone. He's got 2 seconds left remaining until he gets the Rolling Thunder. But this is not a state that he wants to fight in. And without Nefrit, it is looking a little bit tougher. So, time for BKBs, ladies and gents. We're already seeing Freaky's BKB in action, which has saved him on multiple occasions away from the Pit of Malice. So, ground control to Major Tom. It is gonna be us getting to the moon first. And now, let's see. Madam? Well, it's gonna take him a while until he gets the BKB. Underlord, just the recipe remaining. As for the Pango, he doesn't need it, obviously. But Shushu, he's gonna find Imp, and they're still going. Oh, Monodrama caught up into the focus fire. Nefrit, he's gonna be the next target. They're walking over the Pit of Malice. They absolutely don't care. Ooh, that was quite a surprise. Habibi getting 3 heroes pretty much for free.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And yep, much has to do with this Queen of Pain.
Dire's bottom tower.
Yep, it is mainly her damage output being the strongest, but I do believe, yep, okay, this is a lot better. Because definitely that focus fire damage was not to be neglected, as we saw how fast Nefrit fell.
Middle tower is under attack.
Drow still somehow at the top of things, but she's barely had any impact in this game. Hopefully, if it comes down to a high ground defense, she can do something a little bit better, but if already by that point, it's gonna be way too late. Imp, he is indeed struggling during this game, as of course, with a Rubik, you're always gonna be the center of attention. You can cause so much havoc with 2 stolen spells just by laying in the sidelines. And Habibis, they do have a way to scout you out. They have the blink, they have the surge, they have the hookshot, and they have the rolling boulder to make matters worse. So, second somebody who reaches within range, they're gonna jump upon them. This time though, it's gonna be Niche with a beautiful catch onto Mog. Both of them get caught up into the Pit of Malice. Otto, he tries to disengage, but he's just gonna be greeted with the multi-shot Russell. Freaky. Second Pit of Malice used up. Niche caught up at the edge of the stairs into the wall. Ooh, that was a little bit awkward, but this game was never gonna be good for this Pango. Too much difficult terrain, too many issues, and the map is, like, you cannot fight everywhere. You want to fight wherever it's flat or where you know you can get the right angle to get the pinball machine rolling, but stairs are always gonna be your enemy. These observer high grounds are always gonna be your enemy as well. You can get messed up so easily, especially with the vacuum and cogs being present. But regardless, Ilbirs should be happy with this exchange, but down bottom, ooh, that was a little bit tough, as Nefrit, he's gonna use the 9-second BKB in a very unfortunate manner. How is Madam doing? Well, his BKB is complete, so finally, this Drow Ranger is gonna have a chance to fight. Wind Ranger, though, she's got bigger ideas. She wants a Scotty, she wants a Daedalus, and she wants a Satanic right after. But the rest, they are coming out for blood. They want kills, they want to fight. Mog, rolling forward. He is pretty close to some heroes. And he will commit for the jump. They want to take out Imp, and it's going to be a mission success. Locked out, away on high ground. The power shot is going to take him down. Niche jumping in back and forth, but the trade-off could be big here. Shushu caught up by the hypothermia. Otto, once again, caught up in the pit, taking for a second time. He's going to be dead and gone as well. All in all, for the price of Rubik, who did force out a buyback, but they're cleaning house. Freaky left all by himself, trying to TP out. Are you going anywhere? Yes, you are. You're going back home.
Just remember, guys,
Shushu, a little bit of an unfortunate disconnect after the end of this team fight. This was a tough team fight for him, for sure, and it does prove that this Queen of Pain should start considering a BKB of her own. Because the ground was completely covered, like Imp was actively throwing you back into the Pit of Malice every single time. You're gonna get gusted out without you having the ability to use spells. No blink, no getaway, and you're gonna be locked into that pit every single time. And guess what the frog stomp is gonna pop on top of you as well right after. As Largo is getting more and more impactful by the minute. Even though, like, he's at the bottom 3 in terms of net worth, so it's not too horrible. But I was hoping to see some bigger items upon him. Like, Glimmer Cape is gonna be good, but maybe... I mean, Pipe is not necessarily gonna help out. Maybe go for some GG boots instead. Because you do need that reset. You do need to survive that big impact coming in from Habibis. Because once they use everything, once they use the Sonic, once they use the Magnetize and the Focus Fire, they're always gonna call in for a retreat. Regardless of whether they want a team fight or not. Overextension is not a name of their game.
That's a mean riff.
Okay, we should be getting Shushu back.
Just remember, guys, let's have fun out there.
Let's just get DF9. Okay, good one ready. So far, no distinctive advantage for any side. But Ilbirs, they've had this little bit of an extra farm, little bit of an extra experience ever since the early stages of the game, but Habibis' ongoing commitment as a team to go in with pickoffs as 5, they've kept them stable in the game, they've kept them stable enough, but they're still a little bit shy in terms of the damage department, and of course shy whether they're willing to make an initiation or not. Because again, one big ultimate, one big kill secured, we're gonna go back. If we need 2 big ultimates for 1 kill secure, we're going back right after. We don't have much to fill in the gaps with. Wind Ranger is not packing in a lot of right-click damage. Queen of Pain cannot do any of that. Darkseer, he cannot do any of that either. Even though he's building a very defensive setup for this team with the Shiva and with the Crimson Guard. If he's out of the picture, ultimately, everybody else in the team is naked. No armor, no safety, no control, no nothing. They just gotta hope for the best. Swift takedown of the second Tormentor, this time for Ilbirs. Top side. Ooh, a target is lurking and it's gonna be Freaky. Caught up. They're keeping him stun locked into the Pit of Malice, so he won't be able to pop the BKB, and he will indeed pop it very late, but Russell jumping in. Beautiful vacuum onto 4, but he's still upon difficult terrain. Niche trying to roll in to keep them occupied. It's gonna be 3 for the price of none. And a big streak granted onto Imp as Russell. This is the first time he's fallen this game. Actually, no, second time, but he's got 6 kills in between, so that's a lot. And Rubik just getting those kills for free is just amazing. And it's interesting to see how Imp is just focusing on these mobility items rather than going in all out aggressive, because when they changed up how the Rubik works, the Shard and the Scepter upgrade were your go-to items. But now you gotta think long-term, you know, you're eventually gonna get all of the spells in the game. But you gotta save your bud. Force Staff, Bling Dagger. Just better get close and personal. Because eventually it doesn't matter how many big ultimates you're gonna steal, because that one good telekinesis is the day and night difference between victory of a team fight and not. All lanes pushed in by Ilbirs with 2.5 minutes left remaining on the Aegis timer. But can they inflict more damage? Right now that Habibis are all alive and all together. Queen of Pain gets spotted out, silenced up, still within the Pit of Malice. It's not gonna tick for a second time. Actually, they're gonna pop a second gate. Ooh, they're willing to overcommit for this one. Ilbirs, this might be a bad move. Because you guys are pretty close. I mean, from our POV, we know that that's the case. But you gotta respect your enemy, and high ground siege is not something you gotta rush now. Mog jumping in. He's gonna reset though. Auto. Oh, he wants Manam dead and gone, but he's just gonna sign off his own death warrant. The Roche banner is still standing. Manam hitting things from bottom. Freaky, he's gonna be busy with the Roche banner. Enough time for Niche to jump in. Freaky eventually he pops the BKB, but he's still under siege. That's a lot of damage coming in from Manam. As they will take Russell as well. First buyback committed. Auto. He's back into the game right as Niche finishes rolling. All of those passive buffs coming in from Monodrama. It's gonna be enough for Ilbirs' commitment to siege down high ground, and through the mid-entrance, Shushu caught up us one more time, silenced up, rooted up, beautiful force staff getting him out of the difficult terrain. That awkward hesitation from Habibis is what ultimately costed them this game. Like, Mog jumped in, and instead of popping the Magnetize like he should have, they maybe were hoping for a little bit of a better cluster so it's gonna jump better, and Auto jumped in right after him. And him unfortunately did not have a reset button. Once you hookshot in, you're 100% committed. Mog, he has the blink dagger, so he just jumped in, rolled in, and rolled back out instantly. So that tiny mistake, it cost them the entire Rex to go down, alongside with, well, 3 heroes. Pretty much for free. Age is still intact. Less than 30 seconds remaining, so I'm not really sure if Ilbirs are willing to do that again. But actually, there's been a big difference in the past couple of minutes. Okay, now we have a definitive difference of 17k between the teams. So that does translate into at least 1 or 2 bigger items compared to what Habibi have in total.
Dire's turret has been killed.
But is it gonna be enough for a high ground siege? They're still lurking, they're still lingering, they're still looking for a chance to push in. But they'd rather occupy this portion of the map a little bit, well, likely. Shard for the Drow, Rubik nothing queued up currently, Underlord nothing queued up as well, but he did commit with the full completion onto Gleipnir. Niche? Ooh, he went in with the Disperser full completion, nicely done. Mog? Oh, they have him, but it's gonna be a counter setup, instant Pit of Malice, beautiful lockdown onto Mog. Time after time again, this Earth Spirit is not able to pop his ultimate. Manem with 2 targets locked into the pit. Niche still rolling, Auto, he is currently protected by his cogs, but not for long. Shushu, very last second commitment with the Sonic Wave, but unfortunately, Freaky, the Frost Arrows from Manem are gonna hurt just a little bit more, and it's gonna hurt enough for Habibis to call it GG for game number 1. It was 39 minutes of a lot of back and forth between these two, but Ilbirs is, well, better team commitment, better itemization, better team drafting as well is what brought them into this game 1 victory. I mean, Habibis, they were not too shabby, they were not too bad in terms of how they were playing this, but ultimately they were not thinking through things on long term, because the Drow, I mean, you gotta respect her. Even if you are tackling her down very early on and you're pushing her down, the rest of the crew were painful as well. Nefert with the setups, Niche with the setups every single time. The ongoing buffs coming in from Monodrama were just impressive, and Habibis, they were just a little bit detached in terms of their composition. So, better draft for sure is what Habibis should focus in game number 2. As for us, ladies and gentlemen, we have a small break upon us, and we shall be back soon enough. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back with game number 2 between Habibis and Ilbirs Esports. As you can see, the drafts are already rolling out, so let's see what these two are bringing this time. A little bit of a slower approach in terms of the picks coming in from Ilbirs. First off, they're going to go in with the Bane and with the Techies reveal, as they're going to go in for their offlaner first, and later on go in for the mid and for the carry. Whereas in this scenario, Habibis are going to take a couple of heroes that Ilbirs played out during the previous game, and that is going to be Rubik and Drow. So Drow, once again, is going to survive the first ban phase, even though Ilbirs, they definitely had a tough time on the Drow as well, but they were able to very nicely compensate it with the annoying presence from Niche and his Pango. And of course, Nefrid was definitely great in maintaining a very strong front line. This time, with the Centaur, it is definitely gonna make things a little bit tougher for this Drow, so Habibis, they'll need to work around it to make it a little bit more comfortable for her if she wants to stand a chance within this game. So far, it's gonna be Omni Knight brought into the mix, and it's a good way of having a nice balance between healing, a little bit of control, a little bit of a global safety love as well, against the Stampede. But it's definitely not Largo. I mean, Largo, even though he has been hindered down with the past couple of patches, he's still looking really strong and really impactful. And it's just passively granting a lot of these benefits for the remainder of the team. Habibis getting a 3 out of 5 so far. It's gonna be Nefrid's Underlord brought into the mix. Okay, it's getting better, but you still need the damage. You still need something a little bit extra, because right now you do have the front line, you do have the safety, you do have the control, but damage output, 100% just relying onto the Drow Ranger might be problematic, as Ilbirs, they still have to reveal their course, so they can still do whatever they want here. They can go in with, I don't know, like the Shadow Fiend still might be interesting here because you can easily lock down a target. But instead, it's gonna be Nature's Prophet. A little bit of a counter global presence, which is always gonna be of grade 8. Sprout for the lockdown. I mean, it's a 2+1. 1+1 on this hero. You do have the best option coming in from the Clockwork, and you do have damage building up as time goes by. And of course, the unit control. Never forget and never disrespect the Treants and how annoying they can get as the game keeps on going.
Radiant team ban.
And yep, we're still, by the way, waiting on confirmation for the last game for today. As I mentioned earlier, ENC is currently being played out, and some of these players might be borrowed to fight for their nation's colors. So we still need to see if... what was its face? I know it was Team Snetax, which unfortunately it's not Syntax.
5 seconds remaining.
I think one of them is not able to play versus Envision. Still, we're gonna either see during this match or sometime during the pause if they're gonna be playing out. But for now, let us enjoy this game number 2, as we're still waiting on the final picks. Final bans are coming out. It is gonna be Pango, it is gonna be Kunkka. We already saw Lone Droid, Snapfire being taken out, Beastmaster, Husker, Viper, as well as Lycan. So it's gonna be a little bit limited for what Ilbirs are gonna go for. Nice ban was this takeaway from the Earth Spirit, even though in this scenario it is a little bit more likely that Habibis are going in for their last pick mid, and Earth Spirit would not have been a good contender. And again, it's a very interesting contrast of how neglected this hero was a couple of months ago, and the remainder of his brothers were being actively contested as mid laners. And now Earth Spirit is slowly coming back, but again, it's insanely situational. It's very individually favored by some teams, so it's not something that you're seeing every single day. And going in with the Spirit Talk, Ember is gonna be the last hero removed from the pool. So let's see what Ilbirs decide. Well, Puck, why not? You do have the counter presence compared to the Underlord. You do have the collective jump with the Centaur. And last but not least, it is gonna be the Void Spirit. Now, Habibis definitely have compensated with the lack of early damage with the presence of the Void Spirit, so definitely extra points for that. But between Puck and Void Spirit, that's gonna be a little bit of a tough lane for the Void Spirit because Puck always has the upper hand in terms of melee course. The Curveball, always a great damage output between farming and aggression, but you can always find this little small window and deny the majority of them at those still early levels. Mana might be
10 seconds.
really, really annoying on this natures. So
5
keep
seconds
an eye on
remaining.
that. Because Ilbirs, they really have that jumpy sort of a draft. They can definitely show out of nowhere, pop the Stampede, and then just close in the gap on whomever they might find. I'm anticipating a lot of smoke rotations coming in, and then just utilizing either free key, catches for free key or Russell or Shushu early on, because the supports are not gonna be that big of a problem as much as these cores will be. So maybe even before we get the Dream Coil, maybe even before we can get the Stampede, we might see a couple of blast-off actions with the Nightmare rolling targets back into the spread. Like, you have a lot of these macro and micro setups to work out in Ilbirs' favor. Damage will eventually arrive. Never it is going to be definitely great in counteracting the majority of damage coming in from both Shushu and Freaky. And given the sort of say standardized itemization for the Centaur, he's always going to go in defensive, either going in with the early Crimson or going with the Assault Cuirass, or maybe, you know, if need be, going in for an early pipe. Which in this case, I don't really think you want to go in for the pipe, maybe go in for the premium items, item focus a little bit first, because you don't necessarily have that many strong magic damage inputs. Like the Omni Knight is still predominantly dealing pure damage. Yep, that is still the case with the Hammer of Purity and with the Purification. Guardian Angel, well, it used to work globally. Now it is working a little bit locally. But then again, once you get the Scepter, it is becoming a little bit stronger. Degen Aura, of course, moved as his passive ability, which I think it was at one point completely removed from the game before it got pushed into the innate ability.
I find myself strangely
Regardless,
drawn
I'm
to this
curious
odd configuration
of how he's gonna prosper, because the one thing that is ultimately feeling a little bit problematic is this frontline combination coming in from Habibi can really easily be destroyed. One Dream Coil jumping in with the Hoof Stomp. Like, there's a lot of ways you can counteract things and set them to your own liking without even bringing Manam into the mix. But Habibis, they cannot be frowned upon, because if they have a good Shushu lane on this Void Spirit, he is really jumpy, he is really aggressive, and he could have a good time hunting down the Nature's Prophet without allowing Ilbirs to do anything about it. But we shall see, as the good old pause is primarily upon us. No particular reason why we're seeing the pause though. But yeah, I'm thinking Ilbirs for the second time. Because also the one thing that is always good when you have a techies on your side is of course the remote mines. And in a scenario where you don't have as much of a mobile, as much of an evasive carry as the Drow Ranger, it could very easily mess up her farming patterns. You just, you know, throw everything that you can around these neutral camps, around the side rivers. Even if you still have the tier 1 tower standing, you can easily make your life a living mess. And of course, once the remote mines are off, you realize that there's somebody moving and you can call in Manam to TP in and get those final last hits in. Or of course, you know, he's gonna call in the Wrath of the Nature if you still have some sort of a vision there in your favor. So regardless, it is falling down to Ilbirs walking away with a 2-0 result, but the... Oh, really? No way. No way. I think this is by far the best reason why we've been having a pause.
Thanks.
I had to finish my guy's cigarette done. Like, man, just smoke in front of the PC. What the hell? Okay, guys. I think this is the best F9 in the European Pro League for 39 seasons. 39 seasons and I haven't heard anything like this. Okay, second cigarette? Or Manam is still smoking? What's the matter here? Yep, it's Manam's turn. At least we can always keep things in good spirits. Marlboro Gold. Yeah, there was this funny meme. Like, please don't vape in front of our child. We're strictly raising him on Marlboro Reds. Even though smoking is a very bad habit to have. Unfortunately, it gets the best of us. Anyhow, shenanigans and jokes and smoking breaks aside, Habibi, they went in deep for this one. First smoke, they're going in for the invasion,
30 seconds
even
to
though...
battle.
Actually, Ilbirs going in for the deep dive because, yep, they changed sides. Mog will be scouted out from that smog. From that smoke, so he's gonna walk back just a little bit. Not to be caught up prematurely, but I love the deep vision that Ilbirs are already placing. This is a funny tomato tree ant. I don't think I've seen that model. Anyways, 2 bounties for each side. Nothing too dramatic to begin with. Aside from the deep vision placed there by Ilbirs. As they're looking maybe for an early intervention onto Shushu, but I don't think that Bane at level 1 can do anything about it. Yep, off we go. Freaky and Auto. They will face off against Pablo and Nefert once again. It's gonna be Techies and the Centaur against the Drow. And the Omni Knight. And this is for sure gonna be a tough lane. Pablo, thankfully he opted in for the taser first, just to have that extra disarm. I mean, it's always a very good built-in tool to punish right-clicking heroes. But as level 1, it's not the bestest of options. Still, you do have that range from the right click, so Auto is looking to suffer here. Eventually, once level 3 comes in, with the blast off, things are going to be a lot more difficult. Once again, charging up the disarm. It is going to connect on to both, but they're not going to get the execution. Even though Freaky ultimately is dropping pretty low, Nefert will land in that hoof stomp. Let's just see until they reset if there's something happening across the other lanes. Monodrama falling very low. Mog was looking for the first blood here. He could be looking for it once again as Monodrama, he's looking severely low, does have the brain sap for the health exchange. But one small misstep, and it could be punished as the telekinesis is off of cooldown once again. Bottom lane, once again shots fired upon Auto. But still, ultimately nothing. Niche and Shushu in the mid so far. It is both sides focused up onto the farming. Maybe we're gonna see something later down, well, over there. Bottom, Auto Freaky still dropping very low. Nefert and Pondlo, they haven't slowed down even for the slightest in this game. As Nefert, he is looking to close in the gap. The Centaur is a little bit faster, but Manam is gonna be the first hero to fall as first blood. Eventually, Ilbirs give up the chase down bottom, even though their positioning is deep between tier 1 and tier 2 towers. Pondlo He's gonna get the blast off in 5 seconds, so he can still stay here, but Nefrit eventually chooses to back off, keep up with the farming, and Ponlo left temporarily to his own means. Multi-shot, oof, out of range. He's gonna be happy about that, but overall, Ilbirs are definitely not happy with losing their curious first blood. Manam, even though he will still have enough time to compensate for his losses, and of course, as time goes by, he can grow into a super menace. Still, until he gets the Maelstrom, until he gets anything to amp up his farming, it's gonna be a little bit tough, and with Freaky recovering from that early horrendous kickoff, he might get a couple of kills of his own, and again, we've seen what a good Drow game can give you. But again, question is, Drow might fall. She might be taken down easily by the Nature's Prophet if the game keeps on going, but what can you do with the rest of the crew? That's the big question. Thankfully, you do have a lot of back and forth and some global presence of your own coming in with Nefrit, but you just gotta time everything on, well, right. Because whoever jumps first might ultimately be the first loser. Ponlo, nice blast off, Hoof Stomp will not connect. And there's Manam jumping in, Sprout, they want Freaky. But the Quelling Blade for the save. They lost their momentum, they lost Manam some time. But he's still looking to linger here. At the very least, this lane is a little bit chiller compared to his own, and they will completely leave top lane. Maybe give some attention here to Shushu. But nope, they're eventually gonna reset back from where they came from. Currently at the top of things, we do have the Underlord alongside with the Void Spirit. But Ilbirs, they're not falling off that horrendously, at least not just yet. But Manam is in danger once again. They won't connect with the pit for a second time. But at the same time, there's not a lot that Monodrama can do here. Nightmare is still, I mean, 3.5 seconds of duration is not, it is pretty long. But it's just one small spell for the reset and nothing more. Bottom side, Ponlo and Nefrit once again are throwing all of their efforts into the attempted takedowns of Freaky and Otto, but nothing is happening. Unfortunately, their efforts are in vain. And Manam, he cannot call in the rotation that he did earlier because he needs the resources of his own, he needs time, he needs money, and he's not gonna get them for free. And this is not a Nature's Prophet playing support just to jump in, teleport in with the Sprout and hope for the best. I did my stuff. No, you're gonna need a lot more. Still, the ongoing pressure for Ilbirs is at least, you know, giving them some good effort because the catapult has reached the tower, so maybe they can open up the map a little bit sooner. Monodrama, beautiful rotation, finally. We're gonna see a takedown. It's gonna be Otto falling, leaving Freaky all by himself. He does not have a gust. Sticky Bump will connect. He's trying to juke around the trees. They're slowing him down, but can they close the gap? I don't think so. Blast off. It's gonna take a long time for it to return. So they can just push in, they can just farm. Shushu, they've noticed that somebody is about to show up as well on the side of Habibis, so maybe withdraw, take a step back. You don't have the Stampede just yet, but they're committed. They want Freaky dead and gone, even if it might cost them somebody else. Freaky, he's dropped at 300 health. He cannot really do much here because he's the Psalm, but all of his friends are there to help him. And Nefrit will pay the full price for his aggression. Nicely done.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A prize.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Seven minutes in. Both shrines are gonna be obtained by Ilbirs. Venom. Yeah, of course, it's gonna be a teleportation as a swift cheat code to close in the gap. They're definitely gonna need that extra experience as they've been lacking in terms of what they're getting from the laning stage. But now they will double down on their efforts down bottom. Ponlo, blast off to connect, but Nefrit, he's a little bit short-handed. The hoof stomp, ooh, he will prolong it and it will land. Ponlo, however, will fall. But the trade-off is favoring them. Can he get the tower? Oh, he will, but it could cost him his life. Nefrit, oh, he's gonna have some additional friends here. Russell coming in, Pit of Malice. See, this is what you've been throwing to us all game long.
Is under attack.
Oh yeah, it might have to do, by the way, with my settings, because I'm always dropping the video settings on way too low, so I can at least maintain some, well, decent visual quality without my PC burning down, because it is 40 degrees right here, and yesterday I had an entire electrical outage in my neighborhood just from the heat wave. So I do have a crappy PC, and it's a heat stroke time, so this is energy conservation. Let's just leave it at that. You're gonna get your explanation with a 5-minute delay. And of course, due to that comment, they did amp it up just a little bit, so it's not gonna look as shitty. Anyways, 4/2 so far favoring Habibis, with slowly but surely Ilbirs getting a little bit of a better treatment after that bad kickoff. They are still pushing bot, they are still trying to be as aggressive as they can onto Freaky. And they've been doing a good job. I mean, they've kept her behind Manum at all times, even with that one additional kill. Can they get auto for another time? Ooh, the Wrath of Nature. It is painful. Freaky. Nice blast of jump. They have the Stampede, but they're not gonna make the jump. But instead, the big jump was happening in mid, where Shushu and Mog are gonna get destroyed. Now, this could have been a very good 2-lane effort, but regardless, they got 2 big targets, and well, it's not gonna be very super free, but they're gonna commit for somewhat of a push. As long as, well, that fortification kind of scared them off, so it's okay. Russell wants to pick a little bit of a bone with Niche now that he knows that the Dream Coil is not available. But respect the puck, because as always, a good puck is always gonna waste a lot of time away from you. 4-man smoke. They're going up top. They are looking to punish man and Monodrama. There's the jump. Oh, they're connecting. Nice Pit of Malice connecting onto both of them. Can they keep them locked down for long enough? The answer is yes. Monodrama falling off as well. Gonna give it a bit. Hammer of Purity. The Blood Grenades to seal the deal. Again, a very big collective team effort. Ilbirs kind of did the same with a couple of less heroes, but they did commit a global ultimate to make matters, well, happen in their favor. Mid lane though. No, Shushu, Dream Coil, Sticky Grenade, they have him disarmed, but they kill him? Beautiful avoid, Niche, blast off, Ponlo, oh, they're gonna get him. Manum jumping in from right under the tower. Russell as well with the Pit of Malice, he's gonna get Ponlo as a return kill, and there's the draw as well. Niche dropping low, Rolling Thunder, he's been put to sleep, he finds the orb to jump back home. It's ultimately gonna be a 1v1 and the siege for the tier 1 tower being slowed down.
Top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It is looking like game number 1 to some extent. Not gonna lie. How are they looking in terms of CS? I mean, Silver is getting a little bit better. Nefert currently leading. Freaky is still very, very low on farm. It's already it's 1.2k difference between him and an each prophet. With, well, all tier 1s still standing strong. Mid lane dropped to 50%. Top lane is down to 440 HP. So we could be looking for all tier 1 towers to be dropped in about 2 or 3 minutes from now, give or take.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Otto. Still looking for something extra from the Omni Knight. So far he's been doing a good job at protecting Freaky, but his uptime is what has been kinda shaky. He has died once, but the amount of times he had to walk back all the way home was a little bit scary. Too scary for comfort. Shushu and Mog, meanwhile, topside, they're looking to hunt down somebody. And that somebody is Panlo, who just came across the gate. But is he alone? The gate is rolling once again. Actually, it's reinforcements favoring Habibi instead. Ooh, they pretty much have everybody here. Actually, yeah, they have everybody topside. Freaky's courier, however, will die by Nefrit. And they were looking for the same hero, but the hero is topside, and then they have Manam, who caught up into the pit, put to sleep, thrown back, rooted up for a second time, telekinesis thrown once again. 3 times he gets caught up into the pit by force.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Again, a good commitment.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower.
Okay, missed out on a bit of the action because I looked away for Chad. Mog, meanwhile, gets caught up mid lane by the Dream Coil.
Radiant are scared.
Niche. Oh, finds Otto. This could be a solo kill. Nicely done. And the tower as well. Very well utilization of the well, pretty much half duration of the Amplify rune. And he's got more. And it could be used up as Ponlo. He's went in for a little bit of a deep dive, but he's not gonna make it out of this one alive. Okay. See, you could have done it. You could have done all what you did without that suicide. I mean, I know it's the natures of the techies, but holy dude. Actually, they did take down 2 heroes. Yeah, both supports along with the tower. Okay, I guess it's worthwhile, but Monodrama almost gets caught up there. Russell. Well, it's gonna take some time for him to double down on the aggression with the scepter of his own, as he opted in for the pipe first. I mean, yeah, it's a good item to have, mainly against the remote mines. But there's still a lot of pure damage, especially dealt by this Bane. And we still haven't seen a good grip, which is kind of sad. But we'll see. All in due time. But aggressions... Oh, Habibi. It's just gonna be for the creep. And they're gonna try to go in for the tower. At least equate the result, because you do know that you have a Nature's Prophet in this game. So every single time you look away, he's gonna be pushing in. And it's taking them quite some time, even with the catapult, to take down this mid-tier 1 tower. Eventually, fortification gets popped. Are Ilbirs gonna do something about this? They do have the Dream Coil if they choose to initiate. And Niche, he's gonna go for it. Orb? No, he's gonna hesitate. Meanwhile, Monodrama is pushing up top. I thought for a second that it was the Nature's Prophet, but... Man, he's busy elsewhere. He's been hunted down 3 times already. Which is for sure not good. Freaky, he has suffered only once. But still, he's got a whole lot of map space to share with the rest of the crew. I mean, Habibi, they've been in a good position mainly due to the fact that they're getting kills from here. But they're not compensating on farming. They don't have a lot of map space. They need to share a lot. Because Void will need farm. Nephrit is gonna be needing farm. Nephrit is the only hero here that can stay AFK farm and then just keep on going. But the rest, I don't know, like Void wants to kill, Drow wants to kill. And if they cannot keep that ball rolling, I might have some bad news. Well, at the very least, they're getting Nephrit's creeps, so that's great. But Nephrit, ooh, that's a big item. Completely missed upon the fact that he went Heart of Tarask first. I mean, just proves to show that he's looking to exploit the fact that Habibi don't have any early damage. Definitely if they're focusing in a 5v5 scenario. And afterwards, he's gonna go for the blink. Interesting choice, but not a bad one. It is always gonna help you out in the long run. Manum. Well, he has the full completed Mjolnir, which is always great to have, and he is looking for a very big kill. Freaky gets caught up, the Guardian. Therefore, the save along with the gate, but Otto will be put to a halt. As your sir are not gonna go through it. Well, they could have went through the gate, it was not that far off. Shushu. He's gonna find Monodrama in the mid.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So, ultimately it's gonna be a trade-off. But again, like in a trade-off scenario, ultimately it is Ilbirs who are winning. Because they have taken down all tier 1 towers, they're lingering on the Radiant portion of the map very courageously, and they're a lot faster in clearing out creeps and converting all of that into value. Nature's Prophet, for him is just the BKB, and right now he can easily pick and choose when he wants to intervene. Habibis, it's gonna be tougher for them to go across the river. So unless they find a good skirmish down the lanes where they're feeling a little bit more comfortable in fighting, that's how could they win the game. How they could win the game. Nephrit. Drow was smoked up, but Freaky instead chooses to go in for the smaller prize rather than search into the jungle for something bigger. Niche. Oh, there could be something bigger for Habibis to take down. If they get a lock on to Pug. Mog. Oof.
I'll take that.
Very timely phase. Freaky though. It's always about this Drow that you cannot necessarily overcommit onto a big item at start. You always gotta make these small portions of your bigger items, as they're a lot more manageable. But that currently just results into half-arsed items until this point. I mean, yeah, you like the agility coming in from the Yasha, you like the range coming in from the Dragonlance, but it's not a Manta, it's not a Silver Edge, it's not anything bigger. Stampede used for defensive measures by Ilbirs to get the hell out of the Tormentor range before it's far too late.
Scanning.
Because they know it's been a little bit too quiet from Habibis, and Habibis are rolling up for a strike. Smoked up. Oh, they could find Manum here. Mog.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're too scared to close in unless they have enough units on the board. And they will lose their chance. Manum, he's now completely on the other side of the map. A lot of time wasted for Habibis. I don't like this. They're gonna be caught up by the bombs. And oh, Niche. There's the pit. He's gonna get silenced up. Shushu, hypnotized. Beautiful catch, beautiful takedown. Almost making it look too easy. But that's just one hero. And you committed 3 ultimates for it, I mean... Even though the steal doesn't really count as a big ultimate, but... You can always bring in the statistics, yeah, they used 3 ultimates just to take me down. But yeah, just to end the discussion in chat, we're still pending on the status of the last game for today, the following match. So if you're looking at Wikipedia, it still hasn't been updated. Game number 2 is not going to be played out as it got rescheduled since yesterday. And for game number 3, we're still pending, but meanwhile, Nefrid with the jump, nicely done right after the Aegis. This is a little bit of a tough contest as Freaky already took down the second life, and Shishu is there to clean up house. Hanlo, Nefrid, both of them will fall. This was a half-arsed commitment from Ilbirs, which made them lose a lot more than benefit anything.
Radiant's bottom tower.
This was way too tough, and Shishu, the fact that he got the shield was a great addition to the mix. Nefrid's jump was absolutely insane, but it was again half-arsed. They didn't have the puck. Manam, of course, you're gonna bring him in if you're looking to win the team fight. But that was just bad. Even though they are still somehow maintaining their net worth advantage, mainly due to the fact that Nature's Prophet is pretty much out farming anything on the map. But how long will it last them is the big question. 23 minutes in so far. It's 15/8 in the favor of Habibis, but currently dropping at 4K. Nefrit having some issues. Maybe internet, maybe coordinator, maybe update. Who knows what? It could be anything. Like, again, we had a cigarette pause. It's not like this game lasted for 120 minutes and okay guys, can we have a 5-minute break so we can start your legs and come back to the big skirmish? Nope, I needed a 3-minute break so I can finish up my cigarette and then we can start the match. Absolutely insane. Okay, Nefrid's pause will not be a smoke break, so he's gonna be back into the mix. We're just waiting for Habibis to push the F9. So far, things have been balanced out for them. They've kept control of the map, they've kept control over team fights. Every single time they're picking up a fight, they're absolutely winning it, which is great. But that last initiation coming in from Ilbirs, it was not there. I mean, they wanted to intervene on the Roche siege. The idea was grand, the idea was there. Nefrid's jump was absolutely perfect, but they didn't have all of the big ones aligned. Oh, and this time Habibi cannot sell. What? Wait, can they not sell items or something? What the hell? Oh my god. 4 heroes getting disconnected because of a collective bug. Okay, hopefully it got fixed for Freaky, but he's not gonna be able to check it at the pause. I mean, there's a first time for everything. This is freaking insane. Okay, slowly we're getting Ilbirs back. Just some weird stuff happening. Dota coordinator. I know that Joe had a lot of issues during the previous days with, you know, the coordinators and the updates and whatnot. Currently 4 players experiencing technical issues. We're still waiting on Manam to return. Okay. He has returned into the game. Let's see if he's gonna load up on the map and everything is gonna be fine. We're gonna know after the break if the bug has been fixed. Because if they're not able to sell things, they cannot really tell during the pause because you cannot do anything. Let's see if they're good to go at least. Okay. Let's see if now things work out. I mean, probably they're using the mark for sell option because it automatically picks up what you're trying to sell via the courier. Okay, yep, apparently it's still bugged. Maybe they cannot mark for sell, maybe... Okay. Well, I guess something worked out. They're still willing to fight. Freaky disarm, but he's still willing to... But it seems like there's still an issue. Still bugged server, yo, the same. Well, they gotta play. I mean, if it's
Bottom tower is under attack.
mark for sell option not working, then maybe... Wait, is it sounds or... What the hell is going on? Okay, there seems to be more than one bug at play, but Manam seems to be having issues of his own. He's gonna find Mog as a solo kill. He will force out Russell to pop the gate with the double pit, but he's gonna be caught stranded into the enemy's grasp as Niche, Nefrid, both of them are gonna take him down. Monodrama, meanwhile, that drives by Shushu. Beautiful coil. Otto and Mog gonna get caught up. Mog, he shouldn't die here because it's gonna be on a dieback. Stampede rolled up. Otto with the Guardian. He gets caught up and is destroyed. They have Freaky within reach. A couple of projectiles are left needed for the Drow takedown, and the Aegis is on the ground. They will take down Mog for the second time. Freaky, hoof stomp, stunned down, tries to manta away, but it's not happening. Best he can do is gust away with multi-shot. But nope. It's not gonna be enough to take down Nefrit. Niche taking 3 from the 4 kills.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of issues, a lot of bugs. Something is happening from Valve's side. I'm not really sure if it's a sound issue or a cell issue or something like that. Like, the players from both ends are experiencing a bunch of problems. And I cannot really clear out what exactly the issue is.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Nevertheless, both have agreed to continue with the game. As after the pause, it was Ilbirs taking down 4 heroes with the ultimate ease. And of course, a tower as well to make things better. Remaining tier 2 towers, well, just a little bit scratched on the surface, nothing too serious to facilitate some rushes coming in from Ilbirs. They are taking things stable. And also they took away the Aegis from the Drow, so that was also a very, very good setup. And of course, you're able to do stuff like this as long as the Drow does not have a BKB. Freaky, he's gonna prolong the BKB as he's keen on getting the Silver Edge first. Maybe he wants to call in the break for the Retaliate for the Centaur because he's a tough cookie to crack. I mean, Nefrid, he's been manageable in the earlier portions of the game, but now, with the BKB, well, BKB fresh off the shop, by the way, it's not gonna be as easy. And again, he's not thinking short term. He's thinking long term, and he's feeling aggressive. He's thinking of how can I suffocate all of the incoming damage to make this Drow completely useless. And he's doing it. Later on, he can focus on different items of Crimsons or whatnot. Maybe he can even go in for the Helm of the Overlord. Why not? Bring in the Dragon, bring in the extra tower push, bring in the extra zoo play. As we already have the Treant army gathering up. Manam, very good at compensating for his losses. But Freaky, ooh, pawn low. This is a very, very courageous endeavor for both of them, even though Freaky, he is getting farmed. And he's got the protection from Otto. If they can bait out Manam, it's gonna be absolutely great because they can instantly counter-initiate with the gate, as we have seen on numerous occasions, but the skirmish will be brought in mid. As Monodrama, they find Mog, they can pop, and they shall pop the ultimate, as Mog is gonna fall. Pit of Malice, beautiful 4-step, Manam gonna get breakaway, BKB popped up, now Freaky in a bad spot. He's gonna pop the Manta to get away from the tick, but Nefrid, he's gonna jump on top of him, hoof stomp to his death. Otto, still walking over difficult terrain. Shushu gets nightmared back. Monodrama, they want to go for the big kills. They're gonna get yet another support. Shushu, TP out, not happening. Not today. But yeah, we finally saw a good grip. And it was the best target you could have hoped for. It was the Rubik. Without the Rubik, teamfights are 10 times more easier, even though Manam was in a tight spot for a second there, but a quick BKB reset and ultimately everything was fine. Just the Treants, just the Wrath of Nature, and some good old right-clicking damage. Four staffs also being present into a mix are making team fights a lot more manageable against Russell.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top
Last lane tower is dead and gone. Ponlo already setting up the deep minefield next to the wall. So nothing is gonna, you know, come out and surprise them from the side. Russell, they're trying to drag out the Underlord. And it's scary stuff. I mean, breaching over or under these stairs for either side is a scary contest, even though the lead is very much favoring Ilbirs by 19-18k currently. But it's definitely they're not gonna be sieging until Roche comes back. And Roche we shall know in about 15 seconds if it's gonna be a long spawn or a short one. Smoke up. Coming from Habibis, they're trying to reclaim some of the lost territories. Niche gets caught up first, but a swift BKB save coming in from the puck, and he's ultimately gonna be fine. Did he even pop the gate for this one? Okay. Maybe they can get Ponlo? A lot of distractions. They weren't 100% sure where to commit, and they're still looking for Ponlo. Maybe they can close in the gap. Walking with empty-handed here would be awkward, even though Mog, oof, that's a very nice catch there. The remote mines onto the Rubik, getting a taste of your own medicine. But there's another problem coming in from Habibis. The further they push, the more likely they're going to be forced to run back, mainly because of the Nature's Prophet. He's instantly jumping in from one side to the other. And yeah, they split the team, they fall back, they're divided, and Shushu, he might get caught up here, Nefrit. He's not gonna land the hoof stomp, but he's still lingering deep into Radiant Jungle, Freaky. Sitting quiet with the Shadow Blade, very quiet, but right under vision he goes, but they make the catch upon Monodrama first. Nefrit though turns around, instant jump upon the Drow. They will take down the poor old Bane, but the rest of the crew are there to jump. Pit of Malice now locking onto two. Ooh, this is tough, but they still have the outpost control, so TPs will be coming in. Otto, Monodrama forces out a buyback. The Drow from the side, she's hitting everything she can, but Nefrit, his health is not budging. Russell though, he's gonna fall. Nefrit, nice jump, Gus will miss, disarmed, and dead. Oh, the entirety of Habibis will be destroyed, only for the price of one buyback.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And they're going in for the high ground siege. I mean, something that's been similar for both game number 1 and game number 2, Habibi, they do have the right idea of how to fight as a unison. But as the game keeps on progressing, they're kind of losing their momentum, they're kind of losing their focus, or they're realizing that they're lacking the resources to commit onto big skirmishes. And I don't know, like last time they had these issues with the Earth Spirit not launching the ultimate on time, even though he had the setup on a couple of occasions, but there's been this hesitations, this lack of communications, which is understandable, especially for a recently formed team. Ilbirs, they've been standing with this team composition for about 3 or 4 seasons, so they're a lot more composed, they're a lot better at communicating their objectives. And of course, a lot better currently at executing them. Bottom lane cleared up, mid lane is out, top lane is exposed, and it's time for Roche once again. Roche number 2, 33 minutes in. But they're gonna look to bait out their enemy first. Smoked up, Roche hasn't roared just yet, but Habibis, they are anticipating for them to jump in, but Freaky, oh, he's gonna get caught up first. They're trying to defend him with the Pit of Malice. It's gonna be a mission success as Manam gets caught up first. On low, Monodrama in a tough spot. They're still withholding the grip. Another Pit of Malice in the back lines. They're having a lot of control here. Monodrama, he's gonna pop for a second time. Habibis. Oh, what a beautiful intervention from them. Realizing that if Ilbirs had the buyback, they would have used that on Manam instantly. And they will go in for Roche instead. Otto Yeah, don't tank the Roche. Just no need to do that. Ponlo. Ponlo Nefrit. Oh, are they gonna... Don't do the same thing again. Do not do the same thing again. They're looking to do it, but they're gonna be far too late. Freaky, he claims the Aegis, but Nefrit, just get the shield rune and get the hell out of there. Wait out for half a minute for your teammates to rejoin, and maybe you can do the same thing you did earlier. Because this is the second Roche that Habibi are getting. First time they lost it due to them scouring a little bit too courageously. Now it's gonna be a little bit more difficult because across two lanes they have super creeps coming in. They're not gonna be able to utilize this Aegis aggressively, and they're only gonna be able to do as much during Manam's death timer, which is not a lot. Manam, he's gonna be back in 5 seconds. They're once again gonna be enclosed within their own base. And they can only hope for the best, even though Freaky... Well, he's been getting better in terms of farm, but again, there's a big gap between the rest of them. 3 heroes above 22k. And Habibis, they're around 18k in terms of their course, so...
Radiant are scanning. Dire are scanning.
"36 minutes in. It's 20 over 22 with 26k net worth advantage for Ilbirs. They're still in the same spot as they were before the Aegis. But they're just taking their slow time. Just pushing in, utilizing the advantage they have obtained earlier. Russell. This could be tough. I mean, currently they are playing with their attention. Monodrama, oof. We're gonna get the scepter soon, and it's a very sneaky and annoying scepter to deal with. Given the fact that Habibi, they do have a limited single target output for controlling heroes, it's gonna be tough to get the right one. But again, you're still hoping on the Pit of Malice is landing where they should. And we saw it earlier. Like, Russell, if he pops, like, a lot of ground control, it's only so far that the BKBs and the Force Staffs can take them, but it's always that element of surprise. If Ilbirs are not anticipating a teamfight, they're definitely losing it. If they're just trying to bait out the big ultimates and then reset, they're definitely winning.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, going for the red, going for the megas, the treants. They've been doing a lot of heavy lifting, but Ilbirs are gonna give them the extra push. Russell, he's doing the best he can defending this with a Pit of Malice, but the rain and the pit can only do so much. Freaky, oh, venturing out as Manam. Actually, they're gonna find a big one. It's gonna be Shushu, gripped up, but right on top of the pit is Monodrama. Could get caught up for the second time. Otto gets bursted. Manam with the BKB trying to TP out, trying to run up, but he's still within the pit. He's still in a tough spot. And, oh, Freaky, he's gonna get away. Shushu, he's ultimately gonna be fine. How did it lead to this? This was so freaking unfortunate for Ilbirs.
Radiant's top barracks
Oh boy.
has fallen.
I mean, they definitely got way ahead of themselves. And I guess it was these two that caught the right side of what was happening. Even though, I mean, now, even though it's getting tough for both sides, obviously, Habibis, they do have the upper hand when it comes down to these team fights. They do still have the control. Their damage is beginning to show.
Radiant are scanning.
But they've suffered a lot of losses. They're 1 Rax away from Force to Force Megas. And Shushu survived that entire endeavor, but yeah, I guess it mainly has to do with this Krellos Crosshair being present. Yeah, of course, 4 seconds without you getting any without any physical damage is absolutely great. And of course, there's not a lot of magical damage on the other side, which is absolutely great for you. I mean, of course, yeah, you do have the puck. But he went in for this Parasma play, along with the Octarine and the Shivas. Ooh, big endeavor, big catch. It's gonna be Mog. 1 minute. On a... Well, it's not a dieback. It's just that normal death timer. At least for now. The lack of mana has definitely made these past couple of minutes for Habibi very, very breathable, because they've been able to at least push out the waves out of their base. But still, they're gonna be in the same situation as they were earlier. Still, it could be neither side willing to commit until the next Roche. Because Habibis, they can definitely protect high ground, but they cannot really go in with a deep pick-off unless Russell finds something juicy under their own vision. Ilbirs, by this point, they should know. They always gotta fight on a favorable terrain, because the Pit of Malice is always gonna show out of nowhere. They should either get a 100% lockdown onto one core and make their lives a lot more difficult. It sounds easy, but it's not.
Top barracks are under attack.
Punlo going in for the Scepter upgrade. Interesting choice. I mean, they definitely have changed how the minefield sign works. But I still can't get over how much more toxic this hero has been in previous patches. The Mad being, well, it wasn't called Mad. It was remote. No, it was not. It was remote mines. And the fact that you can stack them out on the same spot and wait for some unwary hero to show up, you just press DX, you detonate everything, and it goes kablooey. It would have been a lot more fun if it left a crater on the ground. Like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Anyhow, Roche is still not revealing when he shall arrive, but again the Manam shenanigans are not stopping. This time though, the Melirax will be a little bit tougher to claim. But now they know, once again, they have Habibis locked onto high ground. Onlo doing his best to, well, make every single venture a lot more difficult for Habibis. But Ilbirs, not sure if they're looking for a fight or if they're just looking for control here. It's gonna be tough for either. Oh, Mog! Oof. That was scary. That was really scary. Monodrama, meanwhile, gets caught up by Russell. And it's gonna be a gate committed for the Bane. And Bane is not gonna be back for another full minute, but enough time has been bought for, well, the Treants once again. They will pop the Dream Coil. But Habibi, they're on the double. They're instantly responding to this aggression, to these intrusions. As again, it might be a small confined space, but you can go from point A to point B really, really fast. And yeah, Ilbirs were trying to keep them distracted. It was a noble idea, but it was not as good it was not a good one since you didn't get the Magus. Niche. Oh, Mog. He's gonna get caught up. And he's jumping. He is trying to get away. Thankfully, it is gonna be a mission success even though he gets caught up by the step. Yeah, it was looking quite scary there for a moment. Monodrama is gonna be back in a couple of seconds. Roche will be back in about 30. Meanwhile, Ilbirs are gonna get smoked up and continue with the same shenanigans as they did earlier. But maybe with the luck of catching Freaky at the same time. Niche jumping in with the Shivas, jumps into the backlines, gets a lock on to Otto. He's keeping him silenced up. He's gonna die, but he's got a buyback for the Guardian. Nefrit keeps on going. He wants Freaky, but Freaky, he's under the Guardian Spirit. And oh, the grip! the grip from the Rubik. It's gonna get a lock on to Nefer, turning everything around, but Freaky Nish is gonna jump into the backlines, the Drought forcing out a buyback alongside with Russell. Manam still in the backline, still hitting, BKB still unused. And he's hitting, he's doing whatever he can. Russell, he's got him in the Sprout, but he can't really shoot him from low ground. Shushu on low, gets silenced up right at the edge of the pit, but Shushu, ooh, this could be a bigger trade-off for them. It's the last buyback that they have available. And they're gonna use it. Meanwhile, Freaky, oh, Niche with a jump into the backlines, but he will sacrifice himself for this one, but still, they're gonna get Russell as well. 2 heroes on the dieback, Shushu as well. Ooh, this is some scary stuff. They will secure the Megas, though. And they will secure Auto for a second time with only 2 heroes left on the defense lines alongside with the fortification. It's gonna be enough for Habibis. This game was already tough to defend, but I mean, kudos for them. Every single time they got into a team fight, they were able to win it, mainly because Ilbirs were making a lot of impulsive mistakes. But Ilbirs, they knew they had the upper hand. They just needed that one left remaining dirty move to make things happen. And yeah, it was over sooner than later. It feels like we had a lot more pauses than we had of game time. Just kidding. Yep, Ilbirs still 2-0 victory. 2-0 victory. Great series, great map, great picks, great setups every single time. Habibis, they gotta work with their later game commitments and how they play things out, because they weren't, with all respect, they weren't bad, but they did start to panic as the game kept on going. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the next series, which has been written on Wikipedia, has been postponed since yesterday, so we're not going to be watching that one at all. We're going to be watching that, I believe, a little bit later in the week. As for the last one between Envision and Snitax, even though I did assume it was going to be Syntax, but they did send out that their name was Snitax, so I guess that's how it's going to be. It is most likely going to be postponed as well due to the ENC qualifiers running. So I'm going to keep the stream rolling for just a little bit more, and will get you information ASAP regarding what's happening with the final match. So for now, enjoy the big break, and I will, or maybe will not, see you later.